You're watching Fowler Success, a video series created by the Fowler College of Business and the San Diego State University Library to highlight the successes of recent alumni and more. In this episode, we're interviewing Gail Capati. Gail is a business analyst at First American Financial Corporation, the fifth most valuable company in Orange County. Gail graduated from SDSU with a bachelor's in information systems in 2016.
My name is Gail Capati. I am a business analyst for First American Financial in Orange County.
How did you get started in your current role?
When I was a student here at San Diego State, I came in as an accounting student, quickly learning that accounting wasn't for me and it wasn't what I was passionate about. I was talking with one of the older students in the MIS program. He mentioned to me how what he wanted to do was to be that translator between the business and IT for organizations. And that really struck something within me, so that I switched to MIS, graduated. I got a job as a developer, an IT developer, a programmer. And I found that in that role, I wasn't really in that translator position that I envisioned myself to be in. So then I transitioned into more of my role now, which is working with the business and IT to solve their problems. So that's really where my passion lies, helping people solve their business problems, and I like it.
What does a typical day look like?
It's really different each day. But a typical day will usually include, just from your typical emails, there's a lot of meetings between the different teams. We're really trying to move towards a more collaborative business environment. So a lot of meetings with a bunch of different teams, so that will include my project team, the different business units, the IT teams, and having fun.
Describe your work-life balance.
Work-life balance for people in this role it varies depending on the company that you're with and the projects that you're working on. For example, my first role out of college, I was in a role where I was working with global offshore teams. So I had teams that I was working with in India, in China, in Ukraine, in different time zones. So for me, that meant a lot of early morning meetings, late night meetings, sometimes even weekends. So that was for that project and that role. In my current role, most of my team and most of the people that I work with and interact with on a day-to-day basis are actually here on shore. So that means here in the United States, and most of them are in the Pacific time zone. Some are in the Eastern time zone. So there's still that little bit of time difference, but it's really dependent on the company and the project that you're working on.
Describe your workplace atmosphere.
Yeah, so in my role, the atmosphere is very fast-paced. Different team members are working on different project tasks, solving different business problems. So that means working with different business units and the technical counterparts in solving those problems. So it's really fast-paced. There's a lot of moving pieces, and it's really exciting.
What does it take to succeed in this role?
One, I'd say to be curious. So asking why things are the way they are, asking questions, whether you may have heard this before, but people say there's no stupid questions, and there really aren't. So asking why is really important. Another one is being open to learning, especially when you're new in a position. You don't know the business processes or what the business really is if it's a new industry that you haven't been in. So being open to learning from all the different people that you're going to be interacting with. Another one is just being an effective communicator, and knowing your audience when you're trying to get information out of them as you're trying to dig through the different layers.
What technical skills are necessary for this position, and how did you learn them?
In my current role, I'm not in a very specific technical role, but I do need to know a little bit about each broad technical space to be able to converse with IT teams and the business teams and be able to bridge that gap and communicate effectively. So a few that stand out that I actually learned while I was here at San Diego State are SQL, networks, and the software development lifecycle.
What classes would you recommend to other students who are looking to enter your profession?
Honestly, most, if not all of the classes that I took for my MIS program were really helpful, and I've used them all in some sort of way in my current role. But there are three that stand out to me right now. One is my project management class that really helped lay the foundation for me with the project management tools and concepts. Another one is the database class. The third one is the reporting techniques course, which helped me in writing business documents. Those three really helped me out.
How was the transition from student to full-time employment, and what advice would you give to other students?
As a student, you are probably super busy with classes, extracurricular activities, and having a social life. Transitioning into a full-time role almost seems like you'll have more free time. So if you're working that 8 to 5 or whatever that is, after 5 o'clock, you usually don't have homework or projects or group anything that you need to do. So the transition really is pretty seamless. As far as advice for students who are in this transitioning role, really just immerse yourself in that new job that you're in, especially if you're interested in it and it's something that you could see yourself in for some amount of time. Like I said earlier, ask questions. If you can find a mentor or coach, someone who can kind of help you, guide you through your first few years in that role, that's really key in you being successful in that first job out of college.
What did you learn outside of the classroom that helped set you apart?
In addition to what I learned in classes, which were very foundational topics, doing my own research and really looking online and just doing those practice SQL exercises, reaching out to people in the industry that I was interested in was something that was really helpful in building those connections. And these were things that I had to do outside of the classroom that I think has really helped me get to where I am today.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Fowler Success. Subscribe to see future episodes highlighting the successes of recent alumni and more.